Welcome to the SwitchClicksPodcast, episode 73, recorded on March 1st, 2022. In this episode, we'll be discussing the reveal of Pokemon's 9th generation, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. My name is Dakota, and today I'm joined by Tyler.
Hello!
Nathan.
Hello.
And Kaiser.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So on February 27th, aka Pokemon Day, Pokemon had a Pokemon Presents, and they revealed some mobile game stuff, some quote-unquote DLC, more like additional content, and then they just decided to throw in, we're making the 9th generation in 2022.
It better be good.
That's like 3 games. That's 3 mainstream games in a year, technically speaking.
Yeah, within a year, yeah.
Loving the Pokemon boom. My Pokemon, as much as I did not really like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, it was kind of swept under the rug really fast, so I'm fine with that. And although Legends Arceus I think was flawed, it's still a perfectly good Pokemon game. I'm excited to see all the influence it has on this new one.
Or lack of influence.
Okay, let's be honest. It definitely had an influence.
So then what's everyone's first reactions?
My first reaction?
Instantly when you knew it was the new generation.
Okay, I probably had the biggest U-turn ever. The game opened up and I was like, oh no, it doesn't look very good. It just looks like Legends Arceus again. And then they showed like new Pokemon textures and a couple more shots, and I was kind of set in my ways of, ew, this looks gross. And then I just sat on it for like 5 minutes and went, wait a minute, this looks really good for Pokemon. Big asterisks.
Big asterisks.
You're right.
Of course. Do you think the graphics are gonna improve drastically?
Granted,
Maybe.
I don't want Detective Pikachu to be like the Pokemon art style. You can only go so far when you got little anime guys walking around.
Pokemon Snap, new Pokemon Snap.
That's true.
If I'm being completely honest,
New Pokemon Snap were like Pokemon crap.
Wow.
Okay, that game actually looks gorgeous. Let's be honest here, though.
So I think my initial reaction was just like, crap, Gen 9. And then they slowly got into it, and then I'm like, okay, looks better, textures look better, and gameplay looks cool. The world looks more full, but also a little bit tighter, which could be telling. And then I saw the logos and the name, and I completely despised both of them. They suck. Okay, Nathan, what's yours?
Well, my first reaction was, because it was a live-action trailer, I was like, wait a minute, are they actually making another Detective Pikachu movie already? And then comes
in a few
this
years.
really cheap-looking CGI, which gave it away that it was going to be just another game or something. And then I see the names, or no, sorry, that was way later. I see the starters, I'm like, oh wait, it's Gen 9, and I'm still stuck at the very beginning of Legends Arceus. And I'm like, yeah, this game looks better. It's like a step up from the barren emptiness. Still has that really, I guess, simplistic look of Pokemon. I don't want to cast any doubt on it being worse, but 5 frames per second wind turbines in the background.
Yeah.
Well, hey, 5 frames is a little too much credit.
But like overall world design of this, though, like I'm much happier than like what was given to us in Sword and Shield. For one thing.
Like, okay, Sword and Shield, wild areas were really barren, but the cities and stuff, if you were like able to explore them more, would have been really cool. But the initial look of all the cities, I think, is nice, and I like the design pretty much all Pokemon towns have had. And this one just looks like it's just gonna be that, but bigger and more open.
Yeah,
more grand.
I think they'll need to be more grand, because if it is truly seamless and open world, we're going to have that camera from Legends Arceus. Therefore, we're going to see like the other half of the building that we never see like in Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
So,
and just to go back to the turbine real fast, I just want to say, as much as Sword and Shield did suck, the first trailer for Sword and Shield also had like a 5 frames a second chime echo or whatever, and that wasn't in the
So
The
it was
final game didn't
it's
have.
basically
They did fix that out.
so it's basically standard practice to showcase the game early in
Yeah.
development.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they
Fair
do
enough.
still have, 8 months to make the game? 9 months?
Yeah, I guess. You know what? Okay, that release date though, it scares me.
It says
Not
late
just
2022, which is
late
just
20
normal for Pokemon.
Yes, but think about all the other games coming out this year. Don't you think it's a little bit of an overkill? Don't you think it's a little bit overkill that we're getting this many open world games in a
You're
single year?
scared that Pokemon will overshadow Breath of the Wild. We get it. We get it.
Okay.
Pokemon is a
No,
much
no,
better
no.
video
You
game.
know what?
You're
Actually,
and-
I'm being honest. I actually kind of am. Like, I don't know. There's like, I guess different demographics. I can't really blame that, but like,
I
it's a
I
little
do
scary.
think
It's a little
Pokemon
scary.
might wait. When is Breath of the Wild 2 coming out?
They haven't
I
said.
would assume same
Honestly?
time of the year, same quarter of the
Around the
year.
same time? Okay.
My
I
guess is
think if Breath
November.
of the Wild comes out first, Pokemon will release, and people will go like, "Wow, Breath of the Wild looks so much better." But if Pokemon comes out first, then Breath of the Wild will come out, and they're like, "Whoa, this is so much better than Pokemon."
Yeah,
So I
either
think
way,
it's
they're
like a
going to
win-win
Fair
either
enough.
way.
Fair enough.
It's a lose for like Pokemon.
It's
Mhm.
just I just feel like this year is gonna be so inflated with open world games. Like you got was it? So we already have Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West and Legends Arceus.
Which has been overshadowed.
Technically Legends Arceus. I don't want to count that as one, but it's half and half.
It is technically,
Um,
yeah.
We're getting a 3D Kirby. 3D Kirby game.
That's like Odyssey
Mo-
level.
That's like Odyssey level open world.
Yeah.
And are we getting Xenoblade Chronicles 3 this year, or was that next year?
No, there's no real release date.
Okay, then I'll assume it's next year. That's still. How about Spider-Man? Spider-Man 2.
That's
Funny
definitely
enough.
like 2 years or from now. That's not
Alright.
anywhere close. I think honestly we should be fine. They are kind of grand demographics. Like Pokemon is definitely about larger, more marketable, and Breath of the Wild is a lot more for the hardcore fans. But of course,
Nah.
Nintendo fans are going to compare the two, which is normal.
Which is like apples and oranges, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have to wait till the game actually comes out, and we'll see what people's reactions are. But there's a chance I could see people, like with Breath of the Wild at least, I could see the main complaint. People just look at it and go, this feels like more of the same game. Where in Pokemon will probably be the same, but I think them coming out around the same time. One of them will have the edge on like people talking about it, and I have genuinely no idea which one would win.
You know, my kind of thing is like, with like, even though like Breath of the Wild and like Pokemon two different kinds of beasts, really, it's more so like whichever one is like probably just gonna generate more hype around the time, and then like they look at the gameplay, just go, "Wow, this guy sucks."
And I also think the marketing turnaround for Nintendo is pretty good. They usually go like 2 to 3 weeks of marketing before the game comes out, a little bit more after the game comes out, and then they usually just stop marketing it afterwards, and it markets itself on social media. So usually the turnaround time
Yeah.
for that, if it's a really good game, it's about 2 weeks. If it's like Pokemon Legends Arceus, was only lasted about a week on Twitter, I found.
Also, there is the free marketing with Pokemon that the entire game gets leaked the week before.
Oh,
Oh, that's true.
I think the same thing's
cause
gonna
a lot
happen
of
with.
discourse.
I think that's gonna happen to most Nintendo games in general at this point.
I mean, this wasn't leaked.
Pokemon
like,
gets it. Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
one
but
isn't
it's
leaked.
but like this was.
Like when they revealed the title and like going into the trailer, I was like, okay, is this going to be? It was one of 3 things. It was going to be the sequel to Detective Pikachu because it was a Detective Pikachu guy. But then that was already that kind of went out of my head when it said Game Freak. So the guy was going into offices at Game Freak or something. And then the second one would be, okay, I see the 2 colors in the door. It was like orangish, red, and purple. I'm like, okay, so it could be Gen 9. I really hope it isn't. And then it ended up being, but whatever. And then the other thing would be Let's Go Johto, which I really, 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 really want. And
me too.
I
want
could
that?
have the potential. Listen, I really liked Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It's like probably one of my favorite
Yeah,
Pokemon games. It was
those
so
games are not
simple and satisfying. It was amazing.
exactly.
And
They're
I've never
games.
played through Johto.
I
Anyway,
didn't like it for the for that exact reason.
Oh,
the
I
game
have
is
no.
look,
Simplicity
still
is
haven't
better.
Okay,
Let's go
wait.
deep.
Let's not get on
I-
a tangent of what the if it was a good game or not.
What do you think of the titles? Of
Yes,
the game?
and then they revealed the titles, and I despise them. As said
Yeah.
before, I despise them. It's something
really?
about the pattern with having two names and they both end with let is a little wonky to me. Because Sword and Shield, okay, they both start with an S, and they have like
Yeah.
what do you call that? When they both start
Smish.
with the same letter.
Alliteration.
Oh,
Alliteration. This is like reverse alliteration, and it doesn't work out for me. Like I can't say
Yeah.
Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet
Scarlet,
smoothly.
Scarlet and
Even
Violet. Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet don't really mesh, and it's not normal in the real world.
it's
Because when you
supposed
have
to be like it's supposed to be a color thing though. Like
yeah, but like red and blue, you usually say that in a normal tone in sentences.
Yeah.
Gold and silver, those are
Yep.
kind of mixed between each other. Even
and
Diamond and Pearl is stretching it a little bit.
I
Um,
would say it's stretching
Being
it because
Sapphire.
like
Yeah, it's more of like they actually have a theme. This one
Being
is like
Sapphire.
okay, they just pulled out two colors out of their.
100% honest. I think if Gen 3 came out today, and you had Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire, that's pretty rough. Because like Ruby is
have this-
2 syllables, Sapphire is 4.
Yeah, but
like I honestly don't blame them.
That's 3. I was incorrect.
The thing is, like, with titles, like they're starting to run out. They've already used Sword and Shield already. What's next? Like Arrow and Bullet.
I mean,
Plus and minus.
I'd rather have something. Oh, well, minus and plus will already exists. So having a plus
That's
and
true.
minus type of thing is kind of. I
They
just
could
gotta
use it
say,
again.
I don't mind seeing Pokemon Violet, but Scarlet is like, what were they thinking?
See, I would have actually preferred. Actually, kind of like Scarlet, but the Violet is what I have a problem with a little bit.
Really?
I wish they were just different words. Like if it was Pokemon Scarlet and Indigo. Indigo was the word, but then I realized Indigo League is already a thing, so they already can't
Yeah,
take
that's
that.
true.
There's not really another word for Indigo, right?
But so is Violet Village though, or Violet City from.
That's one
from
city
Johto.
in one game instead of
That's true,
they branded an entire season of Pokemon on Indigo League.
Yeah,
So it would get
Mhm.
confusing a little bit to I guess older fans.
yeah, but
I'm looking at the logos, and it is weird the different fonts as well.
Don't
Yeah.
even get me started on those
What
logos.
is
Those
this?
look complete garbage. Like I can make
Doctor
them
Strange.
so much better. I want to make an
Pokemon
entire
Scarlet
video on
and
the
Pokemon-
graphic design
They
of that.
look
It's
like
frustrating.
fan games.
Yeah.
Like other Pokemon
Yeah.
fan games, like
The
Zeta
yellow
and
outlines.
Omicron was a Pokemon fan game, and they have similar logos. Though, okay, Dakota, I have a question for you. I'm not saying this as if you've hated all Pokemon logo designs, but what is a Pokemon logo what's the last Pokemon logo you enjoyed? Like a main
Okay.
series.
Well, I really like the logos for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. They have something about them that I really like. The logo for Legends Arceus worked pretty well, but the Arceus part of it, eh. What was the other one?
I think I'm trying to say like less of all Pokemon games and more like the initial Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. Not like the in-betweens. Like if this one is Scarlet Violet, the last one would be Sword and Shield, and then Sun and Moon, things like that, just like that.
Yeah, I also think that for each like generation, usually both Pokemon games have the same font for their subtitle, and
Mhm.
this one just has totally different fonts, which is really dumb. What was the one that I was about to mention? Like the old ones have actually just the same font for all of them, so I can't really say much about that. But for like Black and White, boom, same font. Pokemon X and Y, they have just a stylized X and Y, and they both have the same art style. For Ultra Sun and Moon, they have the exact same font, exact same icon. Sword and Shield, exact same font, just a different icon in the background. It actually has consistency, and this one does not. Also, I hate the bright yellow stroke. It looks really dumb.
Like look at the yellow around Violet. Like Dakota's talking about, he doesn't like the yellow around the logo. The yellow around Violet, I think, makes it's too much.
Yeah, the yellow outline is just wonky to me. See, I like the Scarlet logo, but the Violet one is just still
I
wonky.
have the same.
How techie does the Violet one look? Like Scarlet is gonna look nice because the the generation looks like it's made in Spain, and that looks like a Spanish font. Violet does not look like a
thing.
Spanish font.
I think
don't know.
Violet's the one that
I
looks
might
like a
hold. I
fan
might
game
hold
to
that
me.
to you. I may have to hold that to you.
Anyway, I think we should move away from what the logos look like
Look,
because
I
that
haven't
really
even
has
said
nothing
my
to do with the
piece
game.
yet. I haven't even said my
Well,
piece yet.
I got one more thing to say though.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Scarlet is synonymous to red. They already have if Pokemon Red already exists.
I don't think it matters with the colors at this point.
What are they gonna do? Pokemon Blood?
Well, that's still red, so
Like, there's not very many
technically they did
names for
movie.
yellow that haven't already been used. If you want to go complimentary.
Pikachu. I'm kidding.
But yeah, moving away. It is funny that I'm not sure.
Dang, I sure let me
This
forgot.
logo discourse has completely deleted my memory of what we talked about before. Did we like how the game looked outside of this logo? Because
I
I
didn't even
did.
say anything, man.
It was well. I guess I'll let you guys say what you think for now.
Did you know that less than 10% of our viewers are actually subscribed? Click that little red button because that statistic is incredibly low. Like, guys, what is wrong with you? Seriously, this is ridiculous.
All right. Like, actually,
Uh-oh.
if you want me to be honest, like, I think the game looks good for what Game Freak can do. All right. Right. The game looks fine. I like the environments. I like kind of the inspiration for the architecture. It looks fine. It's very well inspired. Given it's like how each Pokemon game is really. But I'm just not super keen on like how they did look into some of those areas, right? It, yeah, I think they're avoiding like kind of the like close-ups of like the more wide open areas.
Mhm.
I can see why, because like obviously the game is still in development, but to me, the game looks full, but it feels a little hollow at the same time. Because like we see the world, but it doesn't look as alive, really.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this earlier where the world looked more full, but also a little bit tighter. Like, in Legends Arceus, it was massive areas, usually just pretty big areas of nothing. But if you just kind of tighten all those little things all around the world, then you do have a full world, but it's not as big. As long as
Yeah,
as long as they like fill it up with towns in between, I think it still could work.
I get what you're saying, but like I've been playing a little bit of Elden Ring recently. It's like with Elden Ring, it's very obviously massive departure from Pokemon, right? But with like Elden Ring, very large, but it has a lot of life, not just like in the surroundings. And I know like with Pokemon, it's the same thing. Like a lot of life is in like kind of the setting. But there's also how people kind of interact with it. I want to see. I want the next trailer. I do want to see like interactions with the world that actually like make it feel alive, right? I
Yeah,
don't
Yeah.
where
see like
Legends Arceus kind of just had Pokemon. Might as well have just been T-posing in their place.
they may as well just like whoop, just turn around. It's like
Hey, at
I
least they had a
just
turnaround
yeah.
animation.
Oh, so true, bestie. But like I like I want to like the game, but it's just you know it reminds me of like other trailers that just kind of show off like the in-game engine. It's like, oh, okay, it's just an announcement. A good example of one that's just came out recently is Street Fighter 6, where it just showed off two characters. There's like not, but it's not really much of the game. Where if Pokemon's like actually do see the in-game engine too, well, you don't really see much of the game.
I think initially for Pokemon games, they don't really need to show much because they're gonna go trending on Twitter. They're gonna get trending on the internet anyway. They're gonna have
I
free marketing. They don't
I
need to
would,
show barely anything. They probably
of
didn't even need to
course.
show the starters in this trailer, and it would have got trending anyway.
I mean, the thing is, like, everyone knows the gameplay loop, but I want to see some more of movement, really. Be like in other games,
which you'll
or
totally
other
see in a few
teasers.
months with
I
E3
do
if
think
that's happening.
the trailer, like there's a couple shots where, unfortunately, this is an audio podcast, so you can't really see the picture I'm looking at. But there's a couple shots where it's just kind of looks like a very bland, very Legends Arceus looking exterior. But then you also have like gorgeous shots of like the Spanish city locations, and hopefully Pokemon have like actual interactions and stuff. But at least like the trainers are walking around and stuff, and it's not just what feels like a ghost town with NPCs waiting for you to bring them to life.
It needs life.
I
A lot
think
of
it's
games
time
do.
that everyone's been waiting for, right? Should
Yeah,
we talk about the starters?
I love the Weed Cat.
I actually don't have much to say about the starters. They just kind of
We don't
look
have to say much. I think all we have to
generic
do
me.
is check and why we like it, just so we get like an idea.
Really, the cat is like one thing I found to be unique of the three. But
What?
What?
Yes.
That is a interesting take.
That's
Yes,
a take and a
because
half. I love the
because
Weed Cat though.
I honestly can't remember what the two others look like without having to check back.
I
Well,
find
yeah, I
that
can see that.
insane. I've like the weed cat, as much as it's funny and everyone seems to love it because it's a cat, it's by far the most first draft Pokemon design ever. It looks like it's
Yeah,
like
that's the thing. Like, I
Grass
it's a
like how
grass
I
cat
type.
body
love
type with
I love
green on it.
how simple it looks. That like that's the thing. Like even
Grass
though
type
Mhm.
things.
we have the apple croc fire thing, like that's cute. But I like the cat. I like the Weed Cat
Cat is
more.
very simple.
And then we
My
Cat
have
is
favorite
like
simple.
Donald Duck.
is the apple croc or whatever. I'm
I think it's a
apparently it's
pepper.
supposed to be a pepper,
I think
but
it's a pepper.
his
Pepper?
face looks like a cross section of an apple.
That's the
And
thing.
I don't understand what they're going for.
Let's
But
just call it the
I
apple croc.
I
What about
love him
Jojo
so
Duck?
much. He's my favorite Pokemon.
JoJo.
He's my favorite kind of Pokemon design. Like the almost an animal but just ambiguously Pokemon looking. I'm just so excited to see what he turns into because there's so many more possibilities I feel than the other two. But that also means he might suck. Like a
Yeah.
lot.
You mean that he might stand up on 2 feet?
Well,
Yeah.
the apple croc is already standing on 2 feet. I don't care if he
Yeah,
stands up
Okay.
or
that's the
not.
wrong thing.
I'll talk about the cat,
Oh, the cat might
Cat?
stand up.
That would suck.
and then everyone will go crazy
I
again.
don't really care if the cat stands up or not. I'm fine with bipedal Pokemon designs, but it will be very funny if it does stand up.
So for my initial thoughts were like, okay, this is kind of odd, but they grew on me. They grew on me a lot faster than Sword and Shield's initial reveal of their starters. I just, for some reason, I didn't really like theirs, but these ones grew on me a lot faster.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think, is like, what's the reverse of growing on you? They've like gotten worse. I'm just thinking about them. I'm gonna look them up just so I can get another look.
While you do that, basically my first thoughts were, okay, the crocodile has the stereotypical cheese on a fire type, sliced cheese belly, and then the duck, immediately Donald Duck. A duck is cool.
Yeah.
We don't really have many ducks. The only ones I can
When you
remember are
walk
like
away.
from Gen
Thigh
5.
duck.
There's like 3 of them.
Ducklet,
Um,
Swanna, Psyduck, Golduck.
Because
Oh,
ducks are
yeah,
easy.
Psyduck.
Ducks are great. I love
Yeah,
ducks.
it's great. And it looks like he has like a pompadour hairstyle or like one of those hats from
Pompadour.
the Pompadour. I actually do see like, okay, the simplicity is good on the cat, and I think that's probably its greatest trait. They can easily make merchandise out of it. And I think for a first evolution, it does need to be simple. But the fact that this is simple and the last one is probably not going to be so simple, the weird one is going to be the center one. It's going to be like an amalgamation between the two.
Also, I don't want to ruin Weed Cat, but its eyes are uneven.
So,
Yeah.
Oh
So-
yeah, I completely missed that.
so
Yeah, it's not a biggest deal, but they don't have to be. They are uneven though, which is very funny to me.
I think
Um,
I think that adds to the charm, honestly.
I do have the Sword and Shield starters here now, and I have to say My initial response was Grookey and Sobble look the same. They're the same body type. They're both kind of bland circles with a kind of fattish body.
Yeah.
I think the tail kind of fattens out Sobble. And then Scorbunny was the only one that looked unique of the three, but they're all very much just round head, skinny body, cute face. Or with these
Put cheese
starters,
on your forehead.
with
There's cheese on his
these new
forehead.
starters, I'm happy to see that it's a variety because like the duck is big head, small body, cute face, and the cat too, but the cat is quadrupedal, and like a completely different body type than the duck. And the Pokemon was just going to be stuck in a trap. Gen 7 starters bad, Gen 8 starters bad, Gen 9 starters good.
The design of the protagonists look kind of cool, and the fact that they announced that, oh, depending on which game you play, the color of your clothing will change. I guess the starting clothing. I'm hoping there's customization. And that kind of threw me off a bit because they never really have that. That's an odd choice to just have a slight change for. My current theory is that in the cinematics at the beginning, there are a lot of oranges and grapes just kind of strewn about. There's also some plaques on the wall. One had like half an orange, and another had some grapes. So my current theory is that you are a student because the Pokemon protagonist looks so young in this game. That you're a student, and that depending on which game you choose, you're going to have maybe a slightly different beginning, where you're maybe two sides of a school, or maybe two separate schools in this region, which would be actually pretty cool. And then you just you have a different badge, or you're part of the orange school and the grape school.
Okay, so you're telling me the legendaries of this game are going to be some big grapes and a big orange.
Honestly, a legendary that was just like a better execute, like a giant grape Pokemon.
Pokemon Violet with the legendary Execute, and Pokemon Scarlet with the legendary Voltorb.
Yeah, exactly. They're just circles.
You need more circle Pokemon.
The game better be good. That's my final thought.
Yes, the game better be good, but I might not even buy it because I need to see what it looks like.
You might not even have time to play it. The Breath of the Wild 2 could come out like a week before this game, and you won't even have time to play Pokemon.
I'm not even going to bother because it's coming out at the same time.
You might find it on a discount anyway.
The trees also do look pretty good, so I guess this game kind of has to be perfect then.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention the trees. The trees look so much better.
Yeah, like it took them how many years?
I wonder how much development actually went into tree technology after they got slandered in Sword and Shield, or if it's just
they also have grass now that you mentioned it, like better looking grass, or at least more
it is
grass.
true. The grass does look better. Overall,
it's not like
this game just looks better than Legends Arceus, like crazy. Like the lighting engine actually looks good on the everything. Not like looking at these couple screenshots that I have in front of me, nothing looks blown out and ugly.
Well, the fact that there is a lighting engine might be better.
That's true. Like I'm actually a little surprised compared to previous Pokemon games where, especially Legends Arceus, that just kind of had one single purple color.
That's true.
Yeah, like I don't know. The world design too, like I forgot to mention that it looks a lot more compared to previous games.
It's so vibrant.
Land formation. Yeah, like the land formations are so natural, the colors are so vibrant, and it's what we originally wanted, I think.
Yeah, I think we are kind of straying away from the art style of I kind of Gen 4 art style. Like even Sword and Shield had the really tall eyes on the protagonists. Does that make sense? Tall eyes. But that was like almost the same art style as Legends Arceus in Gen 4.
I will miss it, but I think this is a good direction to go.
Yeah, less anime, more chibi, and like Pokemon Snap looking, which actually I like.
I was just about to say that. Like, it looks like new Pokemon Snap in a way,
but less ugly because the photographer in Pokemon Snap does not look very good. Or these people, they look pretty decent. To be fair, I am talking about vibrance, and it's a good thing that this game actually looks like it has vibrance. But I can give Sword and Shield credit. The fact that the whole game was pretty gray, that is culturally significant to the UK, so it is an okay choice.
Wow, that is okay.
I am not a part of the UK
I mean, I've talked to
or
some
Britain, but
people
I'm
from
pretty sure if I talked to any British person, they'd be like, "Yeah, it's always grey out here."
Yeah, probably one last thing I want to mention is that because the region is based on Spain, I really hope that they hire some good music artists to make the music
Yeah.
because they have so much potential. After watching Encanto and like actually really loving that movie, just hire the guys who made that.
You walk into like whatever the city is called, and in the background it's like da 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 da. And it's just
Yeah.
that in repeating.
Wait a
That-
minute,
That's the
the boss
Pokemon
music.
Center. That's the Pokemon Center theme.
There's gonna be generic Pokemon music mixed with something Spanish.
To be fair, Pokemon music has never been bad. Legends Arceus Pokemon music wasn't bad. It was just not around very often. But when it came up, it was pretty good.
Yeah, like give me some of those like clapper things, whatever you call those, some trumpets, some
Like,
maracas, all the
Um,
stereotypical stuff. But give me a
Castanets. That's what they're called.
castanets.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for joining us and discussing the reveal of Pokemon's 9th generation. We'd love it if you could follow us on Twitter and listen to future episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Join our community Discord server to continue today's discussion. And we'll see you next time on the Switch Clicks podcast.
Yay!